Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Standard 80 More podcast. My name is Sincere, and we are back again with another video. So, before we get started on what we're going to talk about today, let's go ahead and take that quick 30-second break. This way we can get our minds right, continue to get better. Here. And I'll be back with you here in 3, 2, and And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for rocking with me. I appreciate you all. As you come in, please go ahead and hit that like button, that thumbs up button, if you like what I'm doing. If you don't, go ahead and hit that thumbs down. All of it is engagement. I appreciate it so much. Once again, if you are new to the channel or you really like what I'm doing, go ahead and subscribe. You will get plenty of videos from me on Monday and Wednesday. I have cut off the Friday for now because I'm just involved in so many activities. But if we have a special one-on-one coming or something that I want to do in particular, I'll let you guys know when that's going to happen. By hitting that subscribe button, you will see when I get ready to post, which is usually a couple of hours before, and you'll know to hop on. As well as comment down below. Let me know what you think about the comment and share this with somebody who you think needs it. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started in on this. Is marriage what you really want? That's the title of today's topic. Is marriage what you really want? See, for a lot of us, I think that we like the idea of marriage. We like the idea of companionship. We like the idea of having somebody to do things with. But marriage is a totally different thing. Marriage is a commitment. Marriage is something that you do whether or not the times are good or the times are bad. But a lot of us seem to either want this just a ceremony or just somebody to do fun things with. And we really got to be able to distinguish the difference between the two. But before I go any further into my dialogue, I want you to watch a video here that really rounds out what I think people are thinking when they think of marriage. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. And we're gonna watch this together. Let me go ahead and get this started here. And let's rock and roll. Here in 3, 2.
Marriage is one of the most important decisions anyone can make in this world. It's the highest form of love and respect between two people with an unshakable bond for the rest of their life. And you know what? That shit ain't like that no more at all. Am I the only one that feel like people are taking marriage too lightly these days? Feel me on this. People treat marriage like cell phones these days. If they don't like it within the first 2 years, they just pay some money to get out of their contract. I've literally went to people's weddings, watched them give these beautiful vows to one another. Right after that, go out and do the exact opposite of what they just promised to do. So basically, y'all just told a bunch of lies in some well-dressed clothes. I feel like people are getting married for the wrong reasons because it's not about what you say, it's what you do. And people's vows and actions are just not matching.
All right, I just want to pause it right there for a second just to say this. This is exactly what I think is happening. A lot of people are not taking marriage seriously. They're making they're saying a bunch of stuff in front of a bunch of people or the pastor, church, or a courthouse, and they're not really meaning it. They're not really meaning what they say. They have something else in the back of their mind that they're really thinking about, but they're not knowing if you make this commitment to this person, you got to stick by it. And to get out of it is going to take a lot more than it did getting into it. Anyways, let's finish watching.
Matching up these days. What if people had to be honest in their wedding vows about how they really feel and how they really plan to act once they get married? I bet that ceremony will go a little bit different.
And my God, this is funny. This thing is hilarious. And excuse any or foul language.
We are gathered here today to
Just
marry this man and this woman in holy matrimony. This lovely couple have written their own vows and they like to recite them.
I, Danielle, take you, Zeus, to be my lawfully wedded financial supporter. I vow to stress you the fuck out and eat off your plate for the rest of our lives. I will go through your phone in sickness and in health and accuse you of cheating whether I have found proof or not. I promise to gain weight and let myself go until you no longer want to stick your penis inside of me. When times get rough between us, I will complain more and listen less, never pray about it, and make us both look stupid by airing all of our business on Facebook. And even though I got pregnant on purpose to trap you into marrying me, I still won't tell you about all the guys I let slut me out. I vow to love you for the rest of my life and never, ever leave you. As long as you don't lose your good-paying job with benefits, or I'll leave you for someone with good dick and money. I love you.
all right, let's stop it right there. And the reason I'm smiling right now is because, honestly, let's be for real, ladies. Unless you really know what the commitment entails, like I said, my sinuses are acting up, so please forgive me. Unless you know what the commitment entails, for real, this is how a lot of young ladies in this modern age are thinking. But I'm not just going to stop there. I'm going to let the man have his due as well. So let's go ahead and play that.
I, Zeus, take you, Danielle, to be the biggest fucking mistake I've ever made. With this ring that your ass didn't earn, I plan to forever go in debt. Baby, as I stare at you in this beautiful white dress, all I can think about are all the bad bitches I'm gonna miss out on because of you. I promise to snore loud and take all the covers, piss on the seat, wall, and floor in the bathroom, and pretend to listen to you when you talk to me about shit that I don't care about. As your lawfully wedded husband, I promise to put up with your crazy ass as best as I can without shaking the shit out of you. I promise to hide as many naked pictures in my phone as possible and put up with your broke ass relatives and friends when they stop by our house and eat all our food. And finally, baby, you are my world. And as I stand here pretending not to regret the shit out of this decision, I can't help but to think about all my family and friends that told me, keep your heart, 3 Stacks, keep your heart. Hey, keep your heart, 3 Stacks, keep your heart. Nothing would make me happier in this world than to make love to the same woman and suck on the same long, ashy ass, goldfish bag filled titties for the rest of my life. Or until our child is old enough to understand the concept of divorce, and then shit, I'm out. I love you.
Well, I now pronounce you an unhappily married couple. You may kiss your regret.
All right, so that was a little funny. That was funny, but the best thing about comedy is this. The funnier it is, the more you can probably relate to it. And some of you may look at that and be like, man, that wasn't funny at all. I don't relate to that. My marriage is great. Good. Good job. That means you took the commitment seriously. That means you knew what you were getting into before you walked down that. But for a lot of us, if you looked at the thumbnail that I put up, that's what we dream about. We dream about that wedding day. And for men, they dream about that like the ladies like to say, indentured servant in the home. You know, I need somebody to cook and clean for me. Give me some gratification when I need it, and be able to go half on the bills. When that's not what it's about. See, marriage, like I said before, is a commitment. But more so than anything, it's about being selfless. And in modern society where we're more worried about being selfish and self-improving and centering ourselves and all this other stuff, we are a selfish society. So no wonder marriages are not working, because we go into them without understanding the commitment that we're going to make or the life that we're going to have to lead after. Because there is life after the ceremony. See, I'm going to run through something with you. The thing that they didn't show in that particular skit is what happens after the couples say the vows that they wrote. The minister then goes over traditional vows, and I am talking about vows. I'm talking about traditional weddings between a man and a woman, and not any other cultural marriages or anything like that. If you're doing by traditional standard American wedding, they don't care what you wrote. They'll let you recite it, but they don't care what you wrote, because the catch is this: what the minister is going to ask you to repeat after you say whatever you're going to say. He's going to look at both of you, and he's going to say the same thing. He's going to say, you, and he's going to have, he say, repeat after me. I, whatever your name is, be wed. And he's going to run through it. Rich or for poor, sickness and health, good times, bad times, the death do you part. And you repeat that as he goes through the whole thing. And then he's going to turn to the opposite party and say the same thing and ask you to recite it. Here's where the crutch comes in. After that is said, he's going to ask a question. He's going to say, if anyone sees fit to why this couple shouldn't be married, let them speak now or forever hold their peace. And this is the part where I say y'all should take that objectionably. Like I said, guys, forgive me, my sinuses are acting up. Because the word here is anybody. You two that are at the altar at that current time are anybody. So if for any reason you feel the slightest hesitation, maybe I shouldn't do this, or I didn't quite think about everything that the minister said, because see, after the ceremony is over, after the reception is over, after you get off the honeymoon, you got to live life together. And everything that man said and you had to repeat is what you got to go through. It's not just about pictures and vacations and houses and money and investments and all this good stuff. That's part of it. That's the good. That's the richer. That's the health part of it. But Nobody wants to think about the poor, the bad times, the sickness, because that's part of the vows too. And the reason that clip is so funny is because it really states how most people think about weddings and marriages. They think it's all supposed to be about what they can get and what they plan on doing until they're unhappy. So you really got to ask yourself, is marriage something you really want? Or do you just want companionship? And if all you're looking for is companionship, I'd say this: go out and make some friends and buy a dog or a cat. I hate to sound like Kevin Samuels, but it's true. If all you are looking for is companionship, somebody to do stuff with, somebody to chill out with, somebody to tag along when you do things outside of any sleeping together, find some friends, buy a pet, and be satisfied and content with that. But unfortunately, some of us want to engage on a deeper level. And some of us just want to engage in physical activity. But the thing is, we don't realize the consequences of our actions. See, here's how there are 3 decisions in our lives that are the biggest decisions that we will ever make. And in no particular order, but well, I'll put them in order in what I think is the way it should go. And there's 3 decisions. Decision number 1, what are you going to do with your life? And that may look the same over the course of all your life, and that may look different over all of your life. That may look different during the course of your life. I know mine has changed very drastically over the course of my life. Number 2, who are you going to marry? Because see, while you're plotting out the course of your life and what you want to do, there's 2 things that can happen if you pick the right person or the wrong person. If you pick the right person, it can be enhanced and it can go faster. You pick the wrong person, it's going to be dragged down and it may never happen. And decision number 3, who are you going to have children with? But since we live in an age of selfish people, we often do things backwards and then wonder why we're not getting the results we want. And I'm not here to talk about having children out of marriage. I'm here to talk about marriage. Because even though things are out of place and people are having children outside of wedlock, I still see a lot of people saying marriage is what they want. Is it really what you want? Or do you want to check that box that says husband or wife? Do you want to have that ceremony? Do you want to have that companionship? Because if that's all you really driving after, then you don't need to be married. I'm just going to say that one more time. If all you're driving at is, I want to find somebody so that I won't feel alone and I won't feel out of place, you don't need to be married. Because marriage is a serious thing. I'm trying to find something. Give me one moment, everybody. Give me one moment. Yeah, that made it a little better. Okay. Marriage is a serious thing. And we got to start acting as though it is serious. We got to start acting as though it is something that is sacred. We got to start treating it like what it really is. It's a lifelong commitment. At least it's supposed to be. You shouldn't. This is why it's so hard when you get ready to get out of a marriage, an institutionalized marriage. This is why divorces take so long. This is why there's a point of separation you got to be at before you get that final divorce. Because most people think separation is just, oh, I just need to be separated for a certain amount of time. No, the reason they're giving you that point of separation is they're giving you that time to think over your decisions, to see if this is a rational decision you're making out of logic, or is this an emotional decision that you just running with? Because I'm here to tell you, I said this in my last TikTok video. If you're with somebody, or you want some, or you got somebody that's looking to marry you, don't leave them. Don't leave them. There's nothing out here. There ain't nothing out here. There's a bunch of people that are dreaming of things, but they don't even know what it means. They don't even have proper context behind it. And you say, I know what you're going to say. Sincere, you're not married, but I've seen marriage. I've seen how it's supposed to work. I've seen I've seen good and I've seen bad. And I'm not talking about terrible people abusing each other and any of that stuff. I'm talking about, I've seen people go through ups and I've seen people go through downs, and they've made it. My parents being an example of that. My aunts and uncles and grandmother and grandfather being examples of that. Most of the people in our family stayed with their chosen spouse until one of them expired, and then they didn't go out and want to get remarried straight away. Half of them didn't remarry. They're like, yeah, I did it once, and I loved it, and it can't nobody replace this person for me. There's nobody that I know that can replace who it is my spouse was to me. So I choose not to remarry. It's not that they don't think they could love anybody else. It's just like, look, I'm done. I've been with this person for 60, 70, 20, 30, 40. I've been with this person for years. And I'm now at an age where it's like they've gone on and I'm just waiting for my time to go. That's what it comes down to. So for all of those that have this idea that I'm gonna get married, and once I get married, everything is gonna be great, you need to readjust that way of thinking. You need to readjust that process, because marriage is a commitment, and whether or not you feel a certain way about it is irrelevant to a certain extent. Because the vows didn't say until I was happy, or until this happens, or until this happens. It said a certain thing, and that certain thing is what you're supposed to stick by. Because supposedly you're making a commitment in front of God and people that you hold dear to you, that you are going to do the words that are coming out of your mouth. And then on top of that, you sign a legal document that says, if I don't do what I have said out of my mouth, it's going to cost me something in order to get out of the commitment that I made. This is why I'm not married yet. It's not that I haven't thought about it, but it's like the person that I pick has to have that same mindset. The person that I pick has to know that this is what they want to do, and not this is just what they want to do. This is what they want to do with me. See, here's a trick I like to do when I'm dating. If I've been talking to somebody for any amount of time, I start saying the vows in my head, and I start looking at this person and how they treat me. And I start saying to myself, based upon who this person is and how they're treating me, If I were to take these vows, can I live with that? And the sad factor has been no. I have to say no a lot of times. There's been one or two that I've said yes to, and I've been engaged twice, and I've already told you guys that. But for some reason on their end, it didn't work out. You gotta be assured of yourself. And not a relationship in a marriage is never going to be 100%. When I say assured, you got to be assured that this is the person you will go through those things with. Nothing is 100% certain when it comes to relationships and dating or marriage, but you got to know that without a shadow of a doubt, you can make that commitment to that person. This is why I asked. Is marriage really what you want? Because for most of us here in the States, we like the idea, but we don't want to think about the commitment. I'm going to end it in saying this. As you guys know, I am a Christian. And here's what God had to think about when he was ready to sacrifice all for us. He had to say to himself, I am making a commitment to these people to save them from the penalty of their actions through sending my son down to this earth and making the ultimate sacrifice for them so that they can come and be with me. Christ was willing to die for us, just like husbands should be willing to die for their wives. And just like wives should submit to their husbands, we should be willing to submit to God as men. You see how that has nothing to do with us as an individual? Those are selfless things. Because God don't need us. He wants us. He's the groom and we are the bride. And whether or not you get that concept is something I can discuss later or on a different stream. But we are his treasure. He has already laid down his life for us. In return, he wants us to submit to him. And that's what we got to think about when we start talking about marriage. What are we willing to do for the other person? What's the extreme that we are willing to go to in order to make that commitment stand? Because if we're unwilling to do anything, you can forget having a successful marriage. You're just going to be another statistic out there and wandering out there, wondering why it didn't work. Yes, do you need to examine yourself? Absolutely. Yes, do you need to figure out who you are as a person in order to be in a successful relationship? Absolutely. But the moment you say to yourself, I want to be married, you needs to stop and you need to start thinking about everybody else. Thinking about, what does this person need from me? And making yourself into that person. Making yourself into that husband, making yourself into that wife. Because that's what the marriage is about. That's what marriage is. And if hear me say that, you say to yourself, I don't know if I'm ready for all of that, then good. I'm proud of you for saying, I'm not ready for marriage. Then wait. Find some people, find some friends, find some mentors, and talk about your desire to be with someone long term and how it should function, rather than running down the aisle or and having a ceremony and then getting into life and then all of a sudden be like, this is not what I expected. Because it's work. It's work. I'm going to leave you with this. When you sign up for marriage, you sign up for a position. As a husband, your job is to be a provider and protector, a lover and a friend. And as a woman, ideally, it's the same. Not so much in the provision and protection part, but yeah, you need to provide something. You need to protect his heart. And if you're unwilling to do that, or you say it should be focused on then you ain't ready. And you need to really reevaluate whether or not you want to be married. And that's all I'm going to say. Anyways, everybody, check out the Standard 81 podcast over there on TikTok. I got tons of videos up, as well as check out the Instagram. I'm going to start posting some stuff over there because, like I said, I do got a lot of things going on. I'm getting ready to move into a brand new chapter in my life in particular, which I will be announcing soon. But if you like what you heard, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. As well as share this with somebody who you think needs it. Comment down below and type second watch into the comments if you're watching this after the stream goes live. And subscribe for those who have it, because you will get videos 2 times a week, Monday and Wednesday. And then, of course, videos when I on these channels when I have something very special or something very important to say. Other than that, I hope that you guys are great. I hope that you guys live well. And I hope that you are blessed. God bless you all. Peace.